there's actually a lot of Christians, and yeah, a lot of Christians in India. I don't know if the statistical reports that you see are completely accurate, actually. They say that less than 1% sometimes, and some that I've seen. I saw a lot of churches, especially in the South. There are a lot of churches, a lot of Pentecostal churches, especially a lot of Catholic churches. There's also, of course, most people are Hindu, though. Most people are Hindu, and there's a fairly large amount of Muslim people. Muslim groups usually live in one part of the city. You'll see them, I mean, everyone mixes everywhere, but there's usually a Muslim part of town, and that's a fun part of town because you get beef there. People say you can never get beef in India. That's not true. There's pretty good beef and kebabs in the Muslim part of town. The religions really add to the environment, not only visually, because you see so many people go, well, I'll just go one by one. So visually, you'll see a lot of temples in India. There's a number of mosques. Mosques are always really beautiful and big, but a lot of Hindu temples, and very brightly colored most of the time, or at least the gods that they have will be usually on the walls or on the domes of their temple, paintings of gods and things like that. And then you'll see a lot of people going by with what's called a bindi or a buttu in Telugu, and or at least I think it's Telugu. And so it's a colored dot, or a color, or maybe more than a colored dot. Maybe it's a 3 lines of white, or anyway. Sometimes you'll even see people dressed up as gods, Hindu gods, going around. I actually never really learned what that was about, but you'll see a number of people dressed in completely blue paint, wearing like clothes like a Hindu god, Krishna, for some reason. And so anyway, what I'm saying though is you can actually see what religion people are mostly by looking at them. You can tell what a Muslim person looks like. You see him and you say, okay, he's wearing his traditional Muslim outfit. This person's wearing has a bindi, so he's probably Hindu. Usually has bracelets that have gods like Ganesh and Krishna on them, so you can kind of see. Or a lot of rings that Hindus I've noticed seem to be wearing, and a lot of the Muslim people, they have it's red beards that have been dyed, red beards, sometimes red hair, but I saw a lot of red beards for some reason. Maybe that was a fad, 2006 fad or 2007 fad. But and then the Sikhs, you can tell who a Sikh is because they have a certain kind of headdress. Young Sikhs, I don't know if they haven't been married yet, but they wear a kind of head, I don't know what you call it, but it's like just a cloth that's wrapped around the head, and it has a ball, which I think has a knot of hair inside ball. And then a Sikh's turban is obviously well known, and very like well-groomed beards. They always have well-groomed beards as Sikhs, so that's, you know who a Sikh is. And then the Christians, you can tell that they just are lacking all of those things. Like, oh, might be a Christian. Sometimes they'll wear a cross, and so you can almost see everyone's religion on their faces, as they walk around. As you walk up to their house, you can tell, oh, this is a Christian house, this is a Hindu house, this is a Muslim house. It's very apparent, at least most of the time. Sometimes you get surprised, but most of the time you can tell exactly what religion they are, and it's all on their sleeve. And I think it's a good thing. No one's afraid of expressing their beliefs, and it's a very religious country. It's supposed to be one of the most religious countries in the world. From what I was told, Poland, America, and India were the most religious countries in the world, I guess. And I was proud of that. But as for the other religion, no, you hear it. You hear the religions, except for you don't hear many churches. Maybe you hear church bells at times, but you'll hear, as you walk down the street, you'll hear a Brahmin priest praying, or I'm not sure exactly. You'll hear over a loudspeaker some kind of Sanskrit prayer or chant or something like that going on at the temple. And then at certain times of the day, you'll hear the mosque, and you'll hear for prayer time. Oftentimes, it's very early. It'll wake you up early in the morning, 5 or 6 in the morning, earlier than you want. But so that was always interesting. So anyways, that's for religion.